Welcome to the wonderful world of American healthcare, where your wallet goes to die and your patience is tested daily. It's a system so baffling, so absurdly expensive, and so needlessly complicated that it makes you wonder if anyone actually thought it through. Joining us tonight on this delightful descent into medical madness, we'll be dissecting the American healthcare system one overpriced band-aid at a time. Buckle up, kids, because it's going to be a bumpy, bewildering, and potentially bankrupting ride. The United States spends more per capita on healthcare than any other developed country. We're talking more than double what those sensible Canadians pay. You'd think with all that cash flowing, we'd be lounging in platinum-plated hospitals, enjoying caviar while robots surgically remove our wisdom teeth. But alas, the reality is far less glamorous. Instead, we're stuck with a system where a single aspirin can cost $50, and that's before they tack on the oxygen surcharge for breathing too much during your visit. It's like paying for a 5-star meal and getting a soggy sandwich. Sure, technically it's food, but it's not exactly what you were promised. And now you're left feeling ripped off and vaguely unsatisfied. Health insurance, that magical, mythical creature that's supposed to protect you from financial ruin when the inevitable medical bill arrives. Except in America, it's more like a mischievous imp that delights in finding loopholes and leaving you with a mountain of debt. You see, even if you're lucky enough to have insurance, chances are it comes with premiums higher than a giraffe's blood pressure and deductibles that would make Scrooge McDuck wince. It's like buying a ticket to a concert only to be told you can only listen from the parking lot. Sure, you're technically in the vicinity of healthcare, but you're not quite close enough to actually reap the benefits. Let's talk about the sheer mind-boggling complexity of the American healthcare system. It's a labyrinthine nightmare of paperwork, jargon, and bureaucratic hurdles that would make Kafka blush. Trying to understand your insurance plan is like attempting to decipher ancient hieroglyphics while riding a unicycle on a cobblestone street. And don't even get me started on the billing codes. They're like a secret language only spoken by insurance companies and underworld assassins, and trust me, you don't want to be on the receiving end of their invoices. Chapter 4. Coverage gaps, where healthcare goes to hide. You'd think in a country as wealthy as the United States, everyone would have access to basic healthcare, but you'd be wrong. Because despite efforts to expand coverage, millions of Americans are still stuck in the healthcare wilderness, navigating a system designed to trip them up at every turn. They're the unlucky souls who fall through the cracks, the ones who make too much money to qualify for assistance but not enough to afford decent insurance. It's like having a safety net, but with giant holes in it strategically placed to ensure that those who need it most are the ones who slip through. Chapter 5. The Administrative Black Hole. Now let's talk about administrative costs. You know, that money that disappears into a black hole of paperwork, phone calls, and bureaucratic nonsense. It's estimated that the US wastes billions, yes, billions of dollars each year on administrative costs. That's money that could be going towards actual medical care, research, or, literally anything else. It's like paying extra for the privilege of filling out endless forms, only to be told you filled them out wrong and now you owe even more money. Chapter 6. Quality over quantity. Not so fast. We spend more, that's clear, but do we get what we pay for? Well, despite forking over more cash for healthcare than any other developed nation, the US consistently lags behind in key health outcomes. We're talking lower life expectancy, higher rates of chronic disease, and a general sense of, is this all there is? It's like buying a luxury car that breaks down every other week. Sure, it looks fancy in the driveway, but it's not exactly reliable, is it? Remember that marathon we were training for? The one where we spent all that money on healthcare only to discover it wasn't the cure-all we were promised? Well, it turns out we're not even finishing the race, because compared to other wealthy nations, the United States has a lower life expectancy. That's right, we're paying more for the privilege of dying younger. It's like training for a marathon and then tripping at the starting line, breaking your leg on a discarded medical bill. Chapter 8. The Healthcare Hunger Games. Let's be clear, healthcare in America isn't a level playing field. Access to quality care varies wildly depending on your race, income, and zip code. It's a system where your health outcomes are often determined by factors beyond your control, a grim lottery where the odds are stacked against far too many. It's like playing a game where the rules are different for everyone, and some players start with a ball and chain shackled to their ankles. Chapter 9. Medical debt, the American nightmare. In America, getting sick can lead to financial ruin. Medical debt is a leading cause of bankruptcy, with millions struggling to pay for unexpected medical bills. It's a system where one accident, one illness, can wipe out your savings and leave you drowning in debt. It's like getting a bill for a vacation you never took, except this vacation involves hospital beds and a hefty dose of existential dread. Chapter 10. The price is right, or is it? Ever try to comparison shop for healthcare? Good luck with that. The US healthcare system is notoriously opaque, with prices shrouded in secrecy and hidden fees lurking around every corner. Trying to figure out how much a procedure will cost is like playing a game of price guessing blindfolded, while a chorus of insurance executives laugh maniacally in the background. It's like shopping in a store where none of the items have price tags and the cashier just stares at you blankly when you ask how much anything costs. Outrow, land of the fee, home of the sick. So there you have it, folks. The American healthcare system, where the only thing guaranteed is confusion and a lighter wallet. It's a system that's enough to make you sick, assuming you haven't already been bankrupted by it. But hey, at least we can find some dark humor in the absurdity of it all, right? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to laugh through the pain. Who knows, maybe if we laugh loud enough, someone in charge will finally decide to fix this mess. But let's be honest, we're probably better off not holding our breath.